Good morning. Hopefully you are enjoying this rainy weather, knowing that it's going to bring you lots of beautiful flowers and greenery. Happy long weekend. For some of us, this may not feel like any other different weekend. We are having our normal class on Monday, and maybe for others, it's the signal of the beginning of our summer season. Supposedly it's 18 tomorrow, and is it 30 by early in the week? So today's Yoga Wisdom reading, it's May 15th, is this experience of fullness. What does fullness feel like to you? To some people, it feels like contentment or satisfaction. To others, fullness evokes a state of being on the verge of overflowing with love. Fullness can feel like satisfaction, a deep sense of calm, or an expansive sense of joy. Fullness may feel like completion, as if there's nothing you need to change. The experience of fullness cannot be completely described, and when your heart is so rich with feelings that you have no words, that is fullness. I remember the first time I saw my mother cry from happiness, not sadness or pain, and I didn't understand what she was feeling. And then later on in my life, I did have that feeling, and to a young person, they can't understand. In their mind, tears are for sadness, but sometimes it is for this fullness. Your level of emotion is so brimming, I think, of an infinity pool. It can't go any higher, and so it spills outwards, and that's okay. So today I thought we could do a little bit of breathing. We'll do quick sun salutation, plank challenge, then we'll do some review of poses. Fern had a great idea that this plank challenge chart is like overwhelming to me. I feel like it's jumping up too fast. So I'm going to slow it down. My plank challenge is going to look nothing like yours. And I'm going to hold it at today's level. Is it 2 minutes and, no, 1 minute and 40 seconds. We're going to hold it a couple days of that. I'm not going to use the rests. And then we're only going to go up 10 seconds at a time. So we will not be getting to 5 minutes. If you're loving it, go crazy. But I'm trying to be realistic, and I don't want this to be a pain in the butt. I want it to be a fascination with your body and its abilities. So let's sit up nice and straight. Imagine Tadasana or mountain pose, but in seated. Sukhasana, sweet seat. Sit up being nice and straight, and if crossed legs doesn't feel good in your body, you're going to extend them. For my evening students, that was really nice having a call with you last night. And my morning students, I thought I would do it for Monday. Or maybe I'll make it Tuesday. There's less things going on. And what I'll do is I will send you an email with a Zoom call link, and you can join our group call. You don't have to download the app. It does work better if it's on your computer or your laptop. You can see like the whole screen and everybody. You can click gallery and you can see everybody sort of like Brady Bunch. It was really fun. It was a nice group, not too big, and just enough people. We got to check in with each other. I know some of us are using Zoom and similar things in our personal lives, and it can be really big. And if you're doing it with work all day, that can be tiring. So just putting it out there, it's not an obligation, but just in case you wanted to say hi to everybody in your morning classes. So take a big breath in, reach, 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 and exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Let's do that 3 more times. Inhale up. Maybe imagine yourself on the top of a mountain, thankful for this life and this breath, and exhale down. And I keep visualizing that, is it John or Jesus statue that's in Sao Paulo in Brazil on the mountain. This bigger than life body, reaching out, embracing everything. And one more, inhale up, and exhale down. Let's switch our legs. We'll do a quick side stretch. Left palm down, right arm up. First, I'm going to lengthen only one side of my body. And then arc. Oh, that feels delicious. Right palm down, left palm up. Lengthen. And then arc. Oh, and release. We'll come into tabletop. And we're going to do a little cat-cow, so bum in the air, slowly turn it to cat. Start very tiny. Imagine you're only scratching the surface of this pose. Cow, cow, cat. Breathe in, cow. Breathe out, cat. Breathe in, cow. Breathe out, cat. And once more, breathe in, cow. Breathe out, cat. Tuck your toes. Walk to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Let your head go. In children's yoga, we call this gorilla. Loose, relaxed, option to grab your elbows if that feels easier. And nodding yes, no. Arms to the side, rise, reach up. Exhale, fold, swan dive. Half back, fold, plant, knees. Lower your heart to the floor, one breath. Pick up your head, baby cobra. Tuck and press back, dog. Pedaling your dog. Maybe see if you can get one heel on the floor while lifting the other. And just exploring and checking in with your calves and your arches. Right foot forward, left knee drops, low lunge. You have a choice, low or tuck and rise. Waking up that left thigh and focusing on your balance. Hands release, feet together, fold, rise, heart center. Inhaling up. Exhale, fold, half back, fold, plant, hop, slowly lower, one breath, sleeping cobra. Pick up your head, baby cobra, press into dog, pedaling your dog. Left foot forward, right knee back, low lunge. Reach up through those hands. If you want to make it into a back bend, you're going to look up to the sky. Hands release, feet together, fold, rise, heart center. One more on each side. Inhaling up, exhale, fold. Half back, fold, plant, hop, slowly lower. Sleeping cobra. Pick up your head, baby cobra. Tuck and press back, dog. Pedal your dog. Right foot forward, left foot back. Find your footing, rise, high lunge. Hands release, feet together, fold, rise, heart center. Last side, inhaling up, exhale, fold. Half back, fold, plant, step back. Maybe let's drop our knees and slowly lower our heart between our hands. Untuck your feet, and we're bringing our thighs close together. Forehead presses down, palms press down, elbows hug in, tops of the feet press down. One more breath. Pick up your head, baby cobra. Tuck and press back, dog. Pedal your dog again. Left foot forward, right foot back. Find your footing. Rise, high lunge. I got my right heel lifted nice and high. Hands release, feet together, fold. Rise, heart center. Let's come onto our mat in preparation for our high lunge. I think I need to grab an elastic. Sorry, guys. In the high lunge, not a high lunge, what am I saying? High plank. Hopefully you're enjoying this. I personally have never been drawn to physical challenges, so this has been interesting. So today's a minute and 40. We're going to come into tabletop, step back high plank, make sure the palms are under the shoulders. I want to engage my core to keep this position. And notice the heat immediately turns on inside the body. Enjoy this heat. We're going to stay here. If at any point you need a break, you're going to press your bum in the sky into downward dog, staying high on your tippy toes, and then come back to high plank when you're ready. If this is uncomfortable for your wrists, you're coming into this version. Either palms together or arms in sphinx. Can I come back up? We did 45 seconds. Another minute or so to go. And I pick up my head so it's in line with my spine. Pressing equal energy, pressing down to my finger pads and my palm. Oh, guess what? 40 more seconds, we can do it. Keep breathing. I'm not engaging my core enough, so guess what? I'm feeling it. This is too much work. Woo! Oh, you guys can do it. I don't know why I'm so tired. I'm hungry, that's the problem. I swear that affects my practice. Guess what? 10 more seconds, you can do it. 5 more seconds. And Yana, this, knees down, extended child's pose. Yana, I think this would be a good pose for you if you're ever chilly. I don't know about you, but I immediately felt heat come in every corner of my body. And I'm gonna take my arms behind me, give my wrists a break. And then upright. Oh, okay. Oh, goody. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do a couple of the breath work pieces that I do with my kids' yoga first. And let's see. So the first one is bear breath. And this is something that in the picture they show sitting up, hands on your belly. And we also refer to it as bellow breath. It's really just a mindful breath so that you become more and more aware of your diaphragm shifting, your lungs expanding. You might even do it lying down. Today I'll start on my belly, kind of where the elastic in my pants goes. So I'm going to bring my hands on my belly lightly so there's movement, there's space for movement. Sitting up nice and straight, big breath in. Exhale. So you may not feel in and out, rather up and down as the diaphragm shifts. Everyone's going to experience this differently. With children, we kind of exaggerate the belly coming out just so they can feel that anatomic awareness. It's your choice, in and out like a bear, or up and down, which means I have to slightly tone my belly. Inhale, pause, and exhale. Inhale, and pause, exhale. Okay, so that's bear breath. Another one I like to use is snake breath, and it's a breath that we use. It's also like when a balloon has a tiny hole in it and there's a slow release of the air. What it does is slow your heart rate down. So if you've come in from somewhere you're really hyper, you're really busy, you can feel yourself hyperventilating, great if you're giving blood, and you want to slow down your heart rate, you're going to breathe in through the nose to capacity. Imagine blowing up a full balloon. Pause and exhale like a snake. Pause, big breath into capacity. Pause, exhale like a snake. And one more time. Big breath in. Pause. Okay. Next one. This one is this is used to soothe and relax, bring down the sympathetic nervous system. It's also used as a exercise for the face for, I know, newscasters, singers, actors, comedians. I think of Jim Carrey with all his facial antics, and he probably definitely uses facial workout to help those characters come alive. So this one's called bumblebee breath. It also could be referred to as horse. One of my students called it horse breath. So big breath in, and then pay attention to your lips. You're gonna till you finish exhaling. For me, it makes my nose itchy for some reason. It does something to the nerves. We're gonna do that 2 or 3 times. Big breath in. Exhale. Oh, that you could go longer than snake. Let's see. Do I have any more? Oh, another one. I did snake. What's this one? Oh, elephant breath we often do standing. It's very similar to our gorilla But instead of swaying, you're moving your trunk up and down, hands interlaced. Next one, bunny breath. So this one is a variation of a traditional form of pranayama, where you do fast inhale, exhale. In one version, you would do alternate breathing. So you might cover up a nostril. We're not going to do that version, especially if it's allergy season. I notice it's very snotty. If you are fascinated by pranayama or breath work, there's a whole limb of yoga that's just that. And I do encourage you to find some YouTube videos or Google it. But for bunny breath, I'm going to come on my knees, coming into a meditation pose or thunderbolt, hero, and I'm going to sit upright for a moment, palms down. I'm trying to drop down my energy. But bunny breath I might use if I needed some energy. So first thing in the morning, you're feeling sluggish, I call it caffeine for the body. So you're going to do really quick in, hit your peak, and then slow exhale through the nose. And let's do that one more time. Big breath in. Pause and exhale through the nose. If you enjoy that, pause my camera and continue. So mountain pose, we don't need to do that. I'm going to, there is a game we do sometimes called Yogi Says, and it's a case where I tell you what poses to do, and you hopefully don't move. What I think we should do sometime is do a Yogi Says on this way, live. I can't see you, but I can assume you're doing the poses. It's a great way to review our, I'm going to call it our yoga vocabulary repertoire. So the next one I've come across is turtle or tortoise. I'm going to start in diamond, which isn't as taxing to the body as cobbler. Pressing my soles together, blades cut into the floor, sitting up nice and straight. Maybe this is it. Maybe you're comfortable here. Maybe you do want to go deeper. So I might just start to press my elbows towards my inner knees. Folding. I feel really tight here today, so I'm not going to go very far. But if I did want to go all the way down, I would bring my palms underneath, palms up, or palms down, staring at your soles and leaning forward. And this is a very good pose. If you wanted to spend up to 5 minutes, you could set a timer. And the more that your body relaxes into it, the deeper you go into that pose. The next pose that I just came across was tree pose, one of the first poses we've ever learned. So I'm going to step on my left foot. I'm going to start with my hands on my hips for stability. Spread the left toes, look down, make sure they anchor, right foot, inner ankle. So I might stay here if I'm feeling wobbly today, which usually comes from tightness, or my calf, or maybe hands above, warrior one arms, or interlace yoga steeple. Let your eyes rest on something that's not moving. If I'm feeling wobbly, I need to engage my glutes. So clench my bum, engage my core, brace your belly like someone's going to punch you, and reach up. And hands release. Let's do the other side. Right foot, root down through the ball of that foot and all 4 points of the foot. Spread the toes. Drop those toes like you're gripping at the floor. Left foot on the inside, hands to heart center or a little higher. Find where you can be stable but still swaying. Trees sway. I used to care how high I got my foot. And guess what? I can get it all the way up, but it immediately throws my alignment off, which will perpetuate any discomfort in my hips, my lower back. So less is definitely more. And then release. So, what do we have next? Cat cow, did it. Lizard on a rock, this is one. I'm gonna bring it up close. I would like you to do this with someone in your family today. We also call it starfish on a rock. One of you is in child's pose, the other person drapes over you. And that deep, deep pressure feels really good for lots of people. What do we have next? Oh, we're not going to do double dog because there aren't two of us. Gorilla, we already did. Child's pose, we already did. Let's do the next one. Fish. We haven't done a lot of work with upper body movement. I think this tells me we should do a whole class of back openers or heart openers and back bends on Monday. Again, it's a holiday, but we still have a class if you like. I'm gonna come onto my bum into Dandasana staff pose, palms behind me. And I like to imagine I'm trying to bring my elbows close together. Feet are flexed, belly engaged, and I'm gonna stretch my chest to the sky. So almost like you're showing off your chest. You might stay here, staring forward. Notice how you can take a much deeper breath when the chest is open. Option to come onto your forearms. Puff up your chest and maybe look slightly towards the ceiling. And then the last variation, a little deeper, I'm going to wiggle onto my hands, puff my chest, and look behind me. To come out, you might stay here for 3 breaths, or bring chin to chest, and come on up. I know for some of us that can be a tight pose in our upper arms. Downward dog, we just did that. Dragon, I'm going to turn this into crescent. So really dragon is another word for low lunge. Let's come into, I'm going to step right foot forward, left leg back, arms up. So you might stay here in low lunge. You might inchworm right leg forward a little deeper, as long as the knee does not go beyond the ankle, and I get a deeper stretch in this left leg. Arms up. And I can add a little back bend if I'm feeling it, but if I'm tight, I'm going to stay up and down. Hands release. Let's step back. Bring left leg forward. I like the deep stretch in my right hip, so I'm going to inchworm right leg back. Rise up. Lengthen. Hands release. Feet together. Fold. Rise. Heart center. Does not feel familiar, part of our sun salutations. Warrior 1. This is gonna have us going all over the place. You know what? We will do the warrior series later. Arrow or side plank. Let's do it. I think we need to do more side plank on Tuesday. I really need to start writing these things down. I'm gonna step in tabletop, step back high plank, shoulders over wrists. Feet pivot to the left, open up. So I can stay here in side plank or tree pose side plank. Let's switch sides. High plank, shift shoulders over wrists, feet pivot to the right, open, or tree pose side plank. Knees down, child's pose. You can hold that as long as you want. Okay, oh, triangle, Trikonasana. Let's do it. And again, we're not using blocks unless you have some and you want. I still keep debating whether I should put in order for blocks. They're going to be $6 plus tax for a set of 2, which is a good deal. And I can't remember how many people said they would buy them, so I just don't want to be stuck with a lot of blocks. Right foot forward, left foot back. Bring my arms to T like a warrior. Reach out. Flex the palms forward. I'm either dangling or cheating. I like to drop into this, holding my ankle or on the foot and look up. Some people would put a block here. Up, I'm gonna come forward, and let's switch legs. Left foot forward, right foot back. Arms to a T, reach out, start to turn. I'm either here, dangling, using core, or on the floor. Legs are straight and come back up. Maybe you'll take a squat in between. Next pose, Cobra. That's gonna be our whole series next week, our Cobra back bends. So I'm gonna come onto my belly. Palms on my chest, elbows hug in, feet untucked. Remember all the variations, sleeping Cobra, lift up your head, baby Cobra, a little higher regular Cobra, or lift up your hands. And then slowly release. Forehead down, windshield wiper. I know you're tempted to do the Cobra we all see people doing, but I don't want you to hurt your back. Next one, pretzel. Also a spinal twist, also called Marici's pose. I think it's Marici's 3 when you use both legs bent. So I'm going to take right leg down, left leg over. The difference from this pose, my foot is rooted, with or without a block, versus stacked, that would be cow. So we're going to root it. I'm going to hug my arm over the left leg, turn to the left, and then counter twist. Back to center and switch it out. Right leg on top, left leg on the bottom. I can feel this side is much tighter, so I could sit upright and not go any further. That feels really good in my hips. I can twist to the left, and counter twist to the right, and back to center. I'm going through these much more quickly than we normally do in class. The next one, boat. We did a whole series of this, I think, earlier last week. So we're going to come into supported boat. I lean back, I'm balanced on my tailbone, feet are out, flexed. My hands are holding me up, so I'm kind of cheating with my arms. I can take them away. Some of you might come into full boat. You're going to decide. I know some workout classes come in and out of that boat if you really want to work on the core. Airplane, warrior 3, let's do it. We haven't done a lot of back bends, so this is going to be very minimalist. I don't want you to hurt your back. I'm going to come into mountain, right foot forward, shift my weight. This variation is called toppling tree, because guess what happens? I'm going to topple into it. Instantly my ankle is rebelling and rocking, because guess what? We didn't do any hip work. So I'm either toppling tree, you might even do this to wall, or airplane, and then come back up, and now I'm going to do the other side. I will not spend long in this because I can feel it in my lower back from all the gardening this week. Left foot lands, arms, topple, right toes point down, option to come into airplane, try to drop that right hip, or locust, and then back to neutral. We will spend more time on that next week. Shark. We call this locust. Locust versus lotus. So locust, those evil flying insects that are plaguing Africa. Lotus is the cross-legged version that most of us cannot do. So locust, I'm going to come on my belly, arms to my side, roll the shoulders back, legs flex. So I'm pointing my feet, pressing the thighs together and lifting my chest up. I might go further, pretending I'm holding a beach ball behind me. Some of you might intertwine and rise. Everyone's going to be different. Protect your lower back, engage the glutes. Forehead down, windshield wiper. And again, with any back bend, you really want to listen to your back. Oh, look what just came up, dolphin, which we've been doing almost every day in relation to our plank series. So I'm going to come into tabletop, drop down into Sphinx, arms underneath, elbows under the shoulders, palms spread. I'm equally rooting down through all fingers and squareness of my palm. I'm rooting my wrists down, my forearms and my elbows. I'm going to tuck my toes and lift 1 or 2 inches and possibly come into downward dog here, or walk your dog in, or look back towards your feet if it's really hurting your neck. And sometimes we'll do forward and back. I'm going to come down, knees down, extended child's pose. Okay, what's the next one? Twisted dragon. I won't do that. Plank, we did enough of that. River, let's do a river. Fancy word for extended leg forward fold. So, you remember when we do river or forward fold, you can have your legs flexed and very close together. You can have them medium wide if that's easier. Or if it's really uncomfortable too, you can bend one and focus on one. Hands to the sky, reach up. Engage your core, squeeze your thighs together, toes point to the sky, and hinge at the waist, forward fold. I might stop here Maybe I'll rest my hands on my feet and stare forward. Maybe I'll rest my hands on the floor. Maybe I'll make hands under my knees to get rid of that gap if you have tight hamstrings. Whichever variation I do, I'm not dropping my head, I'm staring at my toes. So it's a lengthening of the spine, heart moves forward. And in some of these poses, when I first initially come into them, my body resists. Remember we talk about resistance versus surrender? When I feel like my body jammed, doesn't want to do something, I need to use a bit more breath work and stay with it. So I might stay here, and as I breathe, my body might sink a little deeper. And anatomically, your bone might hit a spot where there is no deeper fold in that pose. And that's okay, it has nothing to do with your ability. Sometimes biology has nothing to do with what's up here. And then coming all the way back up. And we'll do one more pose. Oh goody, bridge. I used to finish every single class with a variation of this. As my back started telling me to ease off, I was starting to do it with a block, supported bridge. There's also the muscular effort version. So maybe we'll do the muscular one. I'm gonna come on our back, knees are bent, arms by your side, constructive rest. Let's take a breath here. And before you flatten your back on purpose, notice the hardness of your tailbone pressing the floor, and I actually have quite a bit of a gap. I can stick my hand under that gap. That's my resting normal lower back. For a moment, I want to engage my core, so clench your belly, and can you press your lower back down? And you're gonna probably have to tuck your tailbone. Think about a scared dog with its tail deep underneath. So tuck tail, lower back presses down. I love this pose. This feels amazing without going any further. Your choice is to stay here, or arms by your side, feet root down, bum comes up a couple inches. Resist the urge for your thighs to spread apart. You want to squeeze those thighs and bum to center. Clench your bum. Because guess what? The feet rooting down and clenching, energy moves in opposite direction. So as my energy comes to center, my hips rise. And exhale, come down one backbone at a time. And we're going to do two more variations. Feet root down, bum clenches, hips rise. Maybe I'm going to stay here. And come all the way back down. Last one, feet root down, hips rise, and you might roll your shoulders under and grab your heels. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, or maybe you're going to take your block underneath your tailbone. Release your arms and slowly lower down. Thighs to chest, little boat or circles. I'm going to come up to seated. You may want to stay lying down. I'm going to do a little bit longer reading than normal as our final Shavasana for this beautiful weekend. And you might lie down, you might sit up. I apologize if some of those poses were quick. More of a review, and I would hope that you would pause it if you were enjoying one and want to go back and do them a couple more times. So today's daily to help us have a happy, healthy, fulfilling day is let yourself be carried by the flow of the universe. The flow of the universe moves through everything. It is in the rocks that form, that get pounded into dust and are blown away. It is the blossoming of a flower born from a seed planted in the spring. The growth cycle that every human goes through is part of the natural flow, which is also the current that takes us down all of life's paths. When we move with it rather than resisting it, we are riding on the universal wave that lets us flow with life. Many people live struggling against this current. They try to use force or resistance to will their lives into happening the way they think it should be. Others move with it like a sailor using the wind, trusting that the universe is taking them exactly where they need to be at all times. Let's get more personal. This flow is accessible to everyone because it travels through and around us. We are always riding it. It's just a matter of whether we are willing to go with it or are going to resist it. Choosing to go with the flow is often a matter of relinquishing the notion that we need to be in control at all times. And I feel like, oh my, other than an ice age, COVID or Mother Nature, the weather and COVID have really pushed that idea that we are not in control of anything, that nature and natural ebb and flow of disease and destruction and rebirth, spring. All of these things are happening whether humans do anything or not. The flow is always transporting you where you need to go. It's merely a question of deciding whether you plan on accepting the ride or having it take you there with your feet dragging. Learning to step into it can also help you feel a connection to a force that's greater than you and is always there to support you. The decision to go with the flow takes courage because we're surrendering the belief that you need to do everything by yourself. Riding the flow of the universe can be effortless, exhilarating, and unlike anything you've ever expected. When you are perceptive to being in it, you open yourself to possibilities that exist beyond the grasp of your control. And I feel like in Canada, or Ontario especially, we have these 4 distinct seasons that we have no control over. They are moving us forward, time is ticking in our clock, and when we try to fight it, like when people go to the garden center and plant things way too early, and they're angry because Mother Nature, who had a plan, kills all these things. The mere tiniest wave carrying you forward off the shores of the ocean could transport you into pearls of delight. Our soul feels good when we go with the flow of the universe. All we have to do is to make the choice to ride its currents. And you'll probably notice there's a calm peacefulness with people who have been accepting of this universal pause given to us to stay home with our families, stay home more, do less, enjoy more. This was thrust upon us, and instead of kicking and screaming, I'm really enjoying how people have responded to it positively, and I look at it as a gift that I will never ever get back. This time with my son, this time to reassess your priorities and see what kind of direction you want your life to take or what pace you want your life to take. Thank you so much for your effort. I hope you have a beautiful long weekend. Praying for warm temperatures that were promised. And if the rain does happen, it's nourishment for the soil so that when we have supposedly the most record hot summer coming, we are prepared. Thank you so much. The good in me sees the good in you. Namaste. And I'll see you Monday.